Hi, my name is Stuart Patterson, and this video is a response to my own video on atheism and morality. I want to address these issues in a number of videos, and the issues are those that I found in a number of other people's videos. It's the idea that atheists have a warped morality, that we are not accountable to a higher being, and we lack the 10 Commandments in their Christian context. I'll look at the 10 Commandments in another video, but for the moment I want to look at the notion that atheists have a warped morality. And in some of the videos I've watched by other people, they tend to give examples of atheists, like the videos about great atheist quotes, and they use examples like Stalin and Pol Pot and Charles Manson. Now I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God, in any God. And like Stalin and like Charles Manson, I've also been exposed to Judeo-Christian traditions, Judeo-Christian morals and ethics. But I don't steal or rape or murder, or I'm not a murderous despot. So what makes them different from me? We're all atheists, Stalin and Charles Manson and me, but why aren't we the same? And I'll tell you, it's because not only are they not normal atheists, they're not normal human beings. So I think we have to count those kind of people out of this equation. Count them out of the equation because they're not exemplary. And if we can't discount people like Stalin from this notion of atheism and morality, if we can't take them out of the equation, then we'll have to lump in, whenever we talk about Christianity, we'll have to lump in all the bad Christians, like Torquemada and Cromwell and Martin Luther and Pope Alexander VI. I realize that those kind of guys are not good examples of Christians, so I wouldn't lump them in there, and I think you should grant us the same right. Now, I think it's important to realize that there is, in a way, there is no such thing as an atheist morality. There's no code of atheist laws. When you come to the point where you suddenly realize there's no God, this whole thing is a scam, you don't then go running around trying to find, okay, what's my new atheist code of ethics? It's not declared anywhere. There's no such thing. We have to use our minds. We have to use our reason and our intuition to try and decide which is the right way to behave. We look at the behavior of our parents, the behavior of our peers, the behavior of our teachers, the behavior of people that we respect and regard, and looking at their behavior, we decide what is right, what's exemplary, and what's bad, and what's to discard. And so in a way, I could say that atheists actually have a superior morality, because we choose to do the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do. Remember in the Gospels when that guy asked Jesus about how to get to heaven, and Jesus said, what does the law say? How do you interpret the law? And the guy quoted some of the 10 Commandments. He didn't quote all of them. Check it out in the Bible. He didn't quote all the 10 Commandments. He quoted the things like don't steal, don't kill, honor your father and mother. And he also encapsulated the 10 Commandments in the famous Golden Rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And Jesus said to him, you are correct. Do all these things and you will have eternal life. Now, I don't give a shit about eternal life. It means nothing to me. The concept is ridiculous. But yet I'm going to try and do those same things, the same things that guy listed out, some of the commandments and the Golden Rule. I'm going to try and do those things anyway. Which brings me on to the second part of this thing. Atheists have a warped morality because we're not accountable to our higher being. You see, it's precisely because we're not accountable to our higher being that we can say that we almost have a superior morality. We're accountable mainly to ourselves. When I look in the mirror every day and I see myself and I think about what I've done and how I've behaved, what I've done right, what I've done wrong, I judge myself. I'm accountable to myself. I've got to live with myself. I don't have any priest to confess to. I've got no God to pray to. I've got no God to confess to. I've got no God to forgive my sins. If I've done something wrong to someone, if I've wronged someone, I can't confess that to anybody. The only recourse I've got is to go to that person, go to the person I've wronged, and ask them to forgive me and try and put it right somehow. We are not accountable to a higher being, but we are accountable to our fellow man. We live in a society. We're accountable to the society we're in. People see the way we behave. People see the way I behave, what I do right, what I do wrong, and they react to it. They could admonish me. They could say, "Stu, that's well out of order. It's out of line. You shouldn't be doing that." Or they could just decide not to deal with me. Just don't talk to me. Don't be my friend. That guy's an arsehole. We're not going to have anything to do with him. So we're accountable to our society. We're accountable to our fellow man. And lastly, here's something to think about. If you're a Christian watching this video, if you believe that atheism equals immorality and running amok, because we're completely out of control, if you're a Christian, try to imagine there's no God. Just for the sake of argument, try and grab hold of the concept: there is no God. There's nobody watching you. There's nobody judging you. If there was no God, would you lie and cheat and steal? If you woke up tomorrow, there's no God, would you lie and cheat and steal? If you would lie and cheat and rob, then consider the idea that you are not a good person, and it's best that you stay a Christian, because it's only your fear of God and your fear of hell that's keeping you in line. If there was no God, you woke up tomorrow, there's no God, if you would still be a decent person, then ask yourself why. Why, if there's no God, would you still be a decent person? Where are those morals coming from? Is it possible that there is a morality outside of God? We'll look at 10 Commandments and their impact on morality in another video later.